All right. Welcome to another Marketing Roundtable. Fantastic to see you all here. We're going to be talking about the steps that I've seen through scaling a number of businesses in the past that are vital if you really want to actually get up to a decent turnover. This is the sort of kind of models, these stepping stones, these building blocks. When you start to develop team, you start to develop scale, you start to develop momentum in your business. And that is what we're going to talk about today. As the normal format, I'll hit you guys up with some content right at the start, some ideas I want to kind of inspire, get some feel for it, throw a load of bits at you. And then from that, then foster some lovely conversation, some roundtable type discussion afterwards. Cool. Feeling good today? Give some thumbs up if you're feeling good today, gang. All right. Okay. We've got some thumbs up. Good stuff. Okay. So let's just jump into the presentation today. Let's get to this. Okay. So nice steps to $1 million in revenue. Okay. So two businesses that I scaled in the past. So my first one, actually, strangely, they're the wrong way around. The bottom one, Yomp, was my first business, came out of, my first business failed. It was an importation business that I set up straight out of university with a graduate loan, went over to India and China and had a sketchbook of ideas, tried to run around getting stuff done, shipped it on a load of containers. As it's going back over across the sea, the subprime mortgage market stuff happened and the whole arse fell out of everything. And I'm stuck with containers full of 3-player chessboards and magnetic photo frames and rubber ducks, which was fun. So I kind of hustled my way through that. But that first business failed. But in that time, I developed this passion for trying to just speak to business owners and helping them and get more leads and get more marketing. And so my marketing agency was born. So I kind of knew, I smelt what sold, and realized that actually the pain of a recession, people need to market their way out of it. And so I started to get really fascinated with that. Started to be a graphic designer. I was a graphic designer for people to be able to do this, and this. And then I stumbled across one of the step one that we're going to go on, and that meant my business actually scaled to 28 staff and $1 million in revenue. We exited that business, Your Marketing. That was the business, by the way. It was part of my business plan for The Apprentice. If anybody knew that I was on BBC The Apprentice with Alan Sugar, that was the business that I was pitching there, and the business that ultimately we scaled off the back of that. Then one of my old clients was failing. Their business was failing. It was a boiler servicing business. And again, what we realized with that business, it had the similar, although it was a B2C, like domestic services businesses servicing boilers, we realized that what we learned in the Yomp business actually applied to the boiler servicing business again, which was very passionately, very, very much around step one, which I'm going to show you again today. So scaled that to 7 vans on the road, $1 million in revenue, and then flogged that as well, right? So that's kind of been the journey that we've been working on so far. Everything I'm going to show you fits kind of within this very simple methodology. You've got to build awareness. You've got to then help that awareness consider you as being their supplier. You've then got to convert them into a customer. Once you convert them into a customer, you've got to delight them on the way in. And then you've got to gamify your solution to them so they feel like they're not just delighted, but they're also winning at your solution. And then they become advocates and they'll recommend more people to you. And so you get more people into your business. This is just core. And there's elements in each one of these sections that we'll go through. So step one, solve a pain and do it well within a solution that scales. Crumbs. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in a situation like I was, where you are just trying to load up my Blackboard. I should have got that done beforehand. I do apologize. But where I was a graphic designer and I needed to make money because I just lost that business and I was transitioning into my marketing business, and I wanted to try and, stop doing product design and importation and wanted to do more marketing design. And so I was working with businesses for their business cards, or I was trying to develop them a little website or create some letterheads or create some brochures. And so I found myself in a situation that I was being pulled from pillar to post. And if this blooming whiteboard will load up, I'll be able to show you. Okay, let's clear all this out. Okay, yes, clear this whiteboard. Okay, let's zoom in a bit more. One day I will remember to load up the whiteboard beforehand. Right, cool. So here was me, and I found myself in this situation where I'd be trying to put together websites, business cards, email campaigns, everything. And I'd be doing those for so many different clients. So if I was doing websites, I'd be trying to do an e-commerce website for retail clients over here. I'd be trying to do some sort of normal business website for some other business over there. I'd have a big corporate website that I was trying to build. And so I'd have like these sort of like bronze, silver, gold packages, but then someone else wanted something bespoke. So I'd be trying to do this. And then we'd go, oh, well, let's get fancy and do a platinum. And before you know it, I've got like 2 clients here, 1 client's here, 3 clients over here, 4 clients. I have no idea what people have brought. And when this person wants to have a bit of this, or that person wants to have a bit of that and a bit of that, then before I know it, we go and develop another kind of set of deliverables. And so there was no consistency that we actually could build in our business. And I suddenly realized that was what was killing us, because I'd start the day not knowing who or what I should be focusing on. And so whoever shouted loud enough got heard. So instead of doing all of these things in all these different directions and going 1 inch forward in like 25 directions, we created one package and was able to go each day 25 inches forward in one direction. And it became the thing that we realized that we needed, which is the solution our clients wanted. So this is step 1, solve a solution and make sure it scales. So the solution our clients wants was lead generation. And so we focused on that pain, and we created a product that focused on that pain. So if you don't know what the result your clients need, then you do not have a solution that actually is solving a pain. If you don't know exactly what is the pain that you solve, then you've got to really work upon that. So once you've got that bit sorted, let me just move this over here. Then we've got to work out, well, actually, if we found out that the result that our clients want is this is result, then we've got to work out, well, where are our clients now? And you can only really know where your clients are now if you actually are able to niche a bit with them. Because if you can niche a bit, then they can actually, I've lost my blooming pen over here. Where am I? Okay. So if we're able to niche, then we can actually work out where we are. And then we can start to go, well, actually these type of clients' typical journey kind of goes like this, right? So they go from where they are now to the result they want. And that might have like a number of different steps. And so that'd be step 1 here, step 2 over here, step 3 over here, and step 4 over here, right? And so that's a journey that people would take from where they are now to where they want to be in the future. Now, the beauty of that journey is you can start to think about that and go, well, actually, that's a common set of deliverables. To do step 1, I've got to do this. To do step 2, I've got to do this. To do step 3, I've got to do this. And so you can do check boxes, and you can then split out that journey into those little tick boxes, and you can then you can create a process for helping a client to go from where they are now to the result that you give them. And so therefore this journey is the thing that they actually justify to say, yes, actually, that does make sense. I do want to go on a journey with you, and I want to buy this from you. So my clients wanted to buy leads from me. They wanted to have leads. Why do they want leads? Because they want to make sales. Someone else who might be, say, a life coach, someone wants to buy happiness from you, and therefore they can justify the journey by actually saying, oh, well, you're going to help me to review where I am now. You're going to take me through the different routes to be able to make that happen. I know Bhavana's on here. She helps people to do an amicable divorce. And so amicable divorce is the result that you want. So actually to move forward without the pain. And so where they are now is that there's just 2 couples that want to split, but they are still talking to each other, and there doesn't need to be massive problems involved. And so therefore there is a simple set of deliverables to get from where they are now, where they want to be. What is your result that you give people, and where are your clients now? Once you know that, you have that solution for them. And by having these sort of journey and those tick boxes, it's scalable because you can outsource yourself from lots of those check boxes. So then you can bring a team in and you can actually start to grow. Make sense? Cool. No, ignore that. And let's get back into this. So step 1, solve a pain and do it well within a solution that scales. So important, right? Just to give you an idea, back to our boiler business, we worked out that 1 in 10 boiler services needed a new boiler. So we then went and just brought as many boiler services as possible. And so therefore it became a solution that scaled. So we just focused on one product, and we just marketed the hell out of that product to win every single one of those, because we knew that our back end was so much more valuable. So we just purchased all of those boiler servicing leads that we could find, because we knew that after a while there would be a boiler installation because of it. And so we then had a solution that sailed and a simple marketing plan, right? So you really got to nail that step one. Step two, once you know that, you've got to go find and hang out with the people you solve a pain for. So if you know that you've got to work with people that are looking for, I'll just get rid of that. Okay. So if you go, oh, look, David Beckham, there he is, bless him, queuing up at there. Right. So if you know that so for example, we might want to go and focus on coaches in the UK because we want to go target them because we can help them to be able to grow their business, right? So we need to go find and hang out with them. So you do simple sort of coach plus UK, or if you could use a phrase, you could put the word and instead of plus, so and like that, UK. So this is the coaches and they're in the UK. So sort of by and search criteria and LinkedIn, you then go see all people results, and it's going to show you all the coaches in the UK, 64,000 of them, right? So now we know that my market is 64,000. So how big is your market? Who are you targeting? How big is your market, right? So once you've done that search, you need to work out, well, how many of them are you actually hanging out with? So if I go first degree connection here, so now I've found them, how many am I actually hanging out with? Oh, I'm hanging out with 755 of them. So I'm not hanging out with that many of them. I'm hanging out with a few of them, right? But I'm not hanging out with many of them. So for these people, I can message them and I can invite them to something, which will be step 3 and 4. But in step 2, I need to actually look at these people, second degree and third degree, and I need to now start connecting with them and just hanging with them. So I'd be sort of putting a connection request in. I'd be liking their content. I'd be saying hello. I'd be talking to them. And now I'm hanging with them, right? So I've got a solution for them, but I'm not selling it to them yet. I'm just hanging with them, right? So we talk about this diagram that I'm going to loop back to again, this bit. We need to create awareness. So we find who we're targeting and we hang with them, right? Cool. Same happens on Facebook, just for our Facebookers, because some people go, well, actually, it's really difficult to kind of just do a search criteria like that. Let's use Bhavana. I'm going to pick on you again. I do apologize, but finding people that are looking to divorce is obviously clearly a hard thing to do when you're thinking about a LinkedIn search criteria, right? So if we look on groups, then you might go and try and find people that are your typical target audience. So if you search groups, you might be looking for, I don't know, you might just think demographics, right? So you might just think, well, actually, I want to target to high net worth people. So I might go and look at Chelsea, I don't know, Chelsea mums. Let's go Chelsea mums, right? So we can see groups and filter groups, and we want to go and find. So here you go, Kingston mums, Chelsea, South Kensington, Sloane Square mums and nannies, babysitters, etc. These could be the right type of group. I'm not saying that they are higher likely to have a divorce, but they say that they might have, they might be of the type of criteria that you could go and hang out with and be in their groups, add value in those groups. And then when people understand what you do, then of course people talk to people and might recommend you, right? Or you might look at people that are trying to solve the pain. So it might be, like a female empowerment group or something along those lines. You might want to get into those groups and be able to help. So you kind of look at the solution and try and hang with those groups. It's find and hang out with people. From my perspective, if I was looking for my coaches, I might go and look at people that are using a certain software and are in a group. So the Kajabi group is great for me because people who use Kajabi are like business coaches, trainers, etc., service providers. And so you wouldn't be using Kajabi if you weren't trying to sell some sort of knowledge product. And so therefore, if I went into the Kajabi group, here you go, the official Kajabi there, 35,000 members of people using a software who, if you were using that software, you definitely were in my target market. If you're not using that software, then that's cool. But the people that are identifying as being the type of people that we want to work with. So there's 35,000 members in that group that I could go in there. I could answer some questions and I could go and hang out. How would I do that, by the way? If I go visit this group, I would use something called clamming. Sounds weird, but just bear with me. So the whole point of it is when you see people talking, you can comment, like, add, and message, right? So when I see someone, so that's comment, like, add, and message, right? So when I see someone talking in these groups, I think, well, actually, okay, so what's this? Anybody promoted at reselling other people's progress and courses using Kajabi. So I might say I add affiliate links into some of my courses. Works great, like that, right? So I've now commented, right? So we're going to clam. So I've comment, okay, on that, right? I've also liked his post. I'm going to like this person's post as well. And I'm going to comment on that person. So I'm now working 2 people. Me too works well, right? So I've now clamming both Erica and Danny, because now I'm going to go onto them and I'm going to add them. So I've commented, I've liked, and I'm going to add, right? Adding, right? Commented, like, and add. Cool. And then I'm going to message. So now I've messaged him. I'm going to say, hi, Danny. We use affiliate stuff in Kajabi. Was that what you mean? Was that what you meant? Okay, right. So now, oh, I spell Kajabi properly. Kajabi, right? Cool, right? So now I've messaged Dan. So I've commented, liked, add, and messaged him. I would go back and message Erica as well, but just for time, I'm not going to do 2, right? So my point of this is that I'm not actually trying to sell him anything. I'm not trying to ask him to do anything. I've just entered a conversation with Danny Boy there, right? And so from that conversation, my hope is that we're going to chat. And from that chat, I might be able to add some value. And if I can add some value, then I might be able to get onto step. I'm going to get rid of this because I keep on flicking different presentations. I'm going to get onto step 3 of the process. And step 3 of the process, my pedigree chums, is create a place for your audience to hang out. So you see that I'm having to get onto LinkedIn and connecting with people, and I'm having to go onto Facebook, and I'm messaging and DMing. And within a couple of days, all of those conversations are just kind of on platform and all over the place. We need now bring people into something that we can sensibly manage and work far better, right? So let's work on these 2 scenarios, right? So we got LinkedIn in here, and I've just done some connection requests. I've got Facebook in here where I've just done some Facebook groups. I want to move these people. So I've done a connector campaign on LinkedIn. And when someone connects with me, what I can do is I can then start to send them messages like, hey, you know, how you doing, etc. Right? But I need to create a place for them to hang out. The place where I think is the best thing to be able to get people to hang out is to create a weekly moment. Something like this, which is like an event or your podcast, or maybe like subscribing to your like articles or newsletter or whatever it is. You've got to create a place for them, a hook, a honeypot for them to come to, right? And so that might be, say, your weekly moment, right? We suggest you do have a moment every single week. This would be like a weekly moment, right? An event. So you move them into this and say, hey, would you like to come along to my event? I'm talking about this, this, and this. Or would you like to download my email, talk about this? So now once you've done that, you've earned the right to have their email and to start the communication with them. This has gone from awareness into consider, right? On that funnel, right? This is awareness into consider. Same with Facebook, right? We've done the clam, right? And then that means that we've been able to message. And then from that messaging, we've been able to invite into weekly moment. We've siphoned. So now we own these email addresses. We also, once we connect, we can use some clever stuff, which we teach our clients to be able to do an automation to be able to get their email address straight away here and do an email invite into that weekly moment as well. So it's a nice little kind of hack to be able to make that work, right? So from this, we now have taken people from somewhere else that they're aware of us into somewhere where we have them in our list, so they're considering us, right? Make sense? Cool. Okay, so now we got to over deliver value for free pre-sale. So this is step 4, over deliver that value for free sale. What you do is for your weekly moment, say you're doing it as an event, make sure that you actually give some great content and then foster some conversation, right? So you sort of do, hellos here, and then give some value in here, but then also have some Q&A. Why do you want to do Q&A? Because you want to build relationships with people. You want to say hello. You want to understand their journey. You want to actually get into their pains, problems, solutions, let them add value back into the group, and to create a piece of content that is interactive, because that is the best way of doing it. This is why we love events, right? So this is over delivering value. You're over delivering. You've got interactions, you've got relationships, you've got content, you're giving people maybe swipe files, worksheets. You are building your cachet with those people, from someone that is a stranger through to a trusted advisor or trusted thought leader. And that's what the weekly moment does, by having a focal point each week and maxing out and making it awesome, right? So that's where you over deliver value for free pre-sale. Then, and only if it's applicable to certain people, I don't know what this is all about, but we'll just leave it there. We're going to create a high converting, how do I just remove, go away. Oh, right. Sorry. Create a high converting sales process that relies on scripts and templates, not sales talent. What do I mean by that? I mean that you have to have a process when you do a sales conversation. So you draw people from your weekly moment into a demo of your product or a sales conversation or something that makes them think, right, actually, I like what you said. Maybe we'll have a chat about it because you've shown me that you can solve the pain that I have. So you can solve X, Y, and Z pain because you're using that within your weekly moment content to show people you can solve a pain, right? So you have a sales process that you are perfecting over time, step 5. Step 6 is, once you know how to get leads for people aware of you and to get people into your weekly moment and to then get people into your sales conversation, you crank that volume up through paid ads. And that's where you really start to scale, because you'll see lots and lots of people starting to crash into your funnel, and you can refine and perfect your funnel, and the income that you'll get from those new clients will help to fund not only paid ads to be able to scale further, but also a team to be able to help you both to handle those leads, to close those leads, to manage the ad campaigns and social media campaigns. You can then pop out the top of your sales and marketing funnel because you've been able to create a machine that works. Let me just reiterate how that machine looks. So I'll just do a lovely little diagram. Remember, we are taking people from social media, LinkedIn or Facebook. We're taking them into your weekly moment, right? So you're having a focal point each week. You're getting registrants. You're then taking them into a sales process. So sales meeting. And then from that sales meeting, you're then taking them into sold, basically, right? So it's simple as that, right? Awareness, consider, convert, okay? So that is what you're doing. And so if you can pile more ads into this social media bit and more registrants into this weekly moment, you will get more people coming into that weekly moment. You should be looking about this. So 30, 20, 5, 2, right? 30 bookings onto your weekly moment, 20 attendees, 5 strategy sessions, and then 2 sales. And you do that every single week, right? So 2 sales per week. And if you are doing a solution that scales, then your solution should be a high ticket solution because of the way this works. You should not be selling something for 100 quid in here, because for you to give a proper job to be able to really help someone, you should be selling it for something that is of value, that is enough value for you to be able to deliver the solution, but also affordable for your clients, right? So 30, 25, 2. So it's just 2 sales a week, gang. That's all you need to think about, right? Okay, so recruit that commission-based sales team. Step 8, develop a partner program and a client referral system. And why is that important? Well, that was the advocacy bit, because once you've got a product that's delighting people, then get those easy wins by having a partner program and actually reward people for it. And then step 9, implement a profit system and start to accumulate founder wealth with company growth. This is so important, right? So let's stick some numbers behind this. So 30, 25, 2, right? And we say to clients, you should be doing something that, say if you just sold something for, say, I don't know, you did an accelerator, you're a business coach, and you sold something for $597 per month. Oh, hello, $597 per month, right? And you did it for 50 weeks, give yourself 2 weeks off for Christmas, and you did 2 sales a week, right? So if you were doing that, so you say 597, oh, hang on, let's clear that. So 597 per month, which is kind of a suitable coaching product or a service-based business product, on a 12-month contract. So you times that by 12. That's the average client value, right? And then obviously there was 2 of them a week. So times that by 2. That's what you're netting into your business per week. So times that by the 50 weeks, because you're going to have 2 weeks off for Christmas, you lucky people. That's just 716,000. That kind of works out to be around $1 million. So there's the $1 million sprint for you by doing 2 sales a week. But ultimately, if you divide that by the 12 months, this is the 597 per month. This is the 60 grand that you're able to take into your business per month in revenue. Now, the problem a lot of people do is they get, loads of money, and they go and actually start to spend all of that. So this founder wealth piece is so important. So when you get income coming in, actually you'll at that level, you'll be getting 120% of income coming into your bank account each week, right? Because 20% straight away is VAT. So what we do is we recommend the profit first system, which will really help you as you scale to make sure that you personally scale your wealth along with your company's growth. So 20% goes into a separate bank account, right? You have an income bank account and a VAT bank account, right? And then from this income account, you've now got 100% in there because we've taken 20% straight off. You then start to put it into some sub bank accounts. And those sub bank accounts, one is operational expenses. Okay, so operational expenses, we talk about 30% goes into there. So you squeeze your business's outlay to 30% and you put it into there. So you can't borrow money from anywhere else. Your business has to run at a 30% outlay, right? Then we talk about tax. So you do 15% tax. And then that tax bank account will sort out things like corporation tax. And I'll show you in a minute, it will help you to pay your personal income tax, which is cool, right? The final thing is that we talk about profit. Penultimate thing is profit. And you just do a 5% retained profit here, right? Just 5%. Okay, so that's retained. Now, that's good to have it. Rainy day fund, keep it in the business. And then you'll notice you've got owner's comp here. So owner's comp, this is 50%. Now, that means that half the money that you get in is going to go to you, but the taxman's going to nick a load of it. So how do we solve that problem? Well, actually, what you do is that you take, you'll notice that you don't actually pay 20% VAT back because you'll be reclaiming some VAT on the operational account here. So ultimately, it's about 13% that you, on average, will be paying to the taxman. So there's 7% left here to pay as another dividend to you to pay your income tax. And also 15% here is of 100%, but you only pay 19% on profit in the UK for your corporation tax. So profit is 55% because you can kind of see 5% plus 50%. So you would then be paying 19% of that, which ultimately means there's about a 7% left of your entire revenue here to be able to again pay yourself as a dividend. So if you were doing $1 million in revenue, that's 70 grand and 70 grand. So it's 140 grand to be able to pay your personal tax bill. So therefore you do get close to that 50% after tax. Woo! That's good. A lot of explaining, but hopefully, hopefully you didn't lose you. So just as a recap, because I'm going to go into Q&A now. 1, solve pain, do it well within the solution that scales. 2, find and hang out with people that you solve pain for your audience. 3, create a place for your audience to hang out with you, and then over deliver value for various people pre-sale. Create a high converting sales pitch and then crank up the volume through paid ads. Get some people on board to be able to help you to do that, and then develop a partner program and client referral system to be able to give you those easy wins, and then have a profit system that can make sure that you grow with your company. Cool. So I'm going to take some initial questions from the group, or thoughts or feedback from looking at that. Over to you, gang. What are we looking at? What's our thoughts? Mike.
I was trying to find the hand gesture, but I got no idea where it is, mate.
Oh, it worked.
Reactions. There you go. There you go. So with the program that you run for your clients, do you go into depth and talk about, because the biggest challenge there is thinking, well, what the hell do I do? And obviously I can see you do weekly meetings. So I specialize as a recruitment agency, and obviously we have, there's a whole lot of services between talking to the client and onboarding the candidate. So there's a lot of processes in the middle. Do you talk to your clients about saying, all right, well, what would you do every week? What would you talk about? How would you, because obviously you are talking about your process. Is that right?
Yeah. So let me let me show you how it would work. So what you do is you think about your 13 weeks. We talk about saying just 13 weeks, right? So your weekly moment, if you think about this, we unpeel that and give it 13 different subjects. So when you're doing this kind of, where is your client now? What's the result that you get them and the wiggly line between it? You may have like a 1 to 6 step process, 1, 2, 3. So what you do is you think about each one of those steps. So one could be, making your company the type of company that people want to work for. 2, it could be like positioning yourself on LinkedIn. 3, it could be writing the best job ad ever. 4, it could be, interview stages, whatever it is, right? And so you unpeel this like a process. So now you've got maybe you got like a 6-step process. You could do like a little methodology diagram or whatever to say your 6-step process. And then that then becomes 2 subjects within each bit. So this bit delivers 2 little weekly moments. And so remember, it's only 15 minutes to 20 minutes of content. So you kind of look at that process and you do little bits, little learning bits that people say. So if you were to say how to create a company that prospects are banging on the door to work for, that would be a title of a campaign. How to create a LinkedIn campaign, or how to create a LinkedIn company profile where people actually want to apply to, are interested in, whatever it is, right? How to use Glassdoor as a recruiting asset, whatever it is, right? And so these are things that people are interested in. So you'll get the right target market coming to those. Now, once you've got 13 of those, then you actually just rinse and repeat. You rinse and repeat the same thing. So once you get to number 13, you go loop back around. The type of thing that we show our clients is that we actually say, set up a Trello board. So I'll show you R1. And that Trello board is your 13-week cycle. And so once you know the themes for each week, then you can actually start to develop a whole campaign for what you're going to send out each day. So here's our Trello board, and here's our week 1 to week 13. And so all of our different campaigns are here. So here you go, week 6, 9 steps to $1 million revenue is ours. Now, once you've got those 13 weeks, we can say, well, what are we going to send out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to make the perfect week? And we say, actually, there's a whole strategy involved in this to be able to get the most amount of bang for your buck, right? Hang on. There we go. So on Monday, so if we say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay? And so on Monday, we talk about getting, why is my thing freezing? Don't freeze on me. Cool. Monday, we talk about doing engagement creators. Why is that doing that? There we go. Right. So Monday, we talk about an engagement creator. What do we mean by that? Well, you do a poll to be able to spike the algorithm on Monday. So all these lovely people are talking about the type of subject that you're actually promoting on your Wednesday, which is your weekly moment, right? And so these people you can reach out to and you can invite them across to your weekly moment. Oh, come on. My thing's just buffering. Here we go. Right. So what you can invite them across your weekly moment. So these people that have voted on your poll on Monday, you can invite them to the Wednesday because the poll was related to the Wednesday session. On Tuesday, you do a promo. So you're trying to hit people up and again, get them into the weekly moment. Wednesday, you're going to pitch for then to people to come along to your strategy session. And Thursday, you send out who wants the replay, which again, then books your strategy session. And then Friday, you do share a win. So you can do a bit of credibility to show, oh, these are the people that are kind of working with us that are doing well. Why do you do that? Because it just helps you to be able to grow your credibility assets. And that means that you're always kind of showing people how your clients are winning. Plus, you then say what's on next week. So you do like a what's on. And then you rinse and repeat that process. What that looks like in reality, let me just show you, just say the Monday engagement creator. So if we look at this Monday engagement creator, come on. Don't go slow on me. Right. So say, my week, which is like a LinkedIn organic lead generation campaign. I'll do a masterclass on Wednesday for LinkedIn. Come on. So you can see here, so we do a card here. Each one of these cards has exactly the post you can do. So once you've gone through that 13 weeks once and added all your content in, you can then give this to your team to go and distribute for you. And if I show you a post, like this LinkedIn post here, it's a poll. And on this poll, you will see we ask a question. Come on, work with me. Come on, LinkedIn. Come on.
I've seen them. I always respond.
Yeah, if you see, okay, I don't know what. I'm just going to try and get rid of some of this stuff. Why is that doing that?
So it's a LinkedIn poll. You don't see a lot of them. You see a few people push them out.
Yeah, exactly. You do a LinkedIn poll, but yeah, for whatever reason, it's going slow on me. So okay, so cool. Right. So look, so you can see fascinating to see if people focus on LinkedIn as their primary platform. And because I'm doing LinkedIn on the Wednesday. And I've got 219 votes there, which means I can actually go and DM all these people just using this button here to message them to say, hey, thanks for your vote. We got this going on. And you've got a load of other people in here commenting, so I can clam all those people as well. And so therefore, this becomes the thing that creates engagement that then spikes the algorithm. So then my next posts are looking good as well. Cool.
Thank you.
Does that make sense? So you can kind of see... You can kind of see how that could work. And so, yeah, so it's that type of model you want to look at, Mike.
Thank you, Richard.
No worries. Look, guys, I am running. So I've got 2 sessions left before I go to Everest. I've got this Wednesday and next Wednesday at 12:30, where I'm doing strategy sessions. And basically what that is, it's a full demo of the $1 Million Sprint. So actually, if you're interested in looking at our accelerator, it's a 12-month accelerator, and we work with clients to be able to help them to scale to $1 million in revenue. They go from some revenue, and we build building blocks. We've got a system that helps you to do that, going through these 9 steps. If you are interested in just looking at that and having a demonstration of it, then they've got 2 slots based left on that. And so if I just show you now those 2 slots, and how you can jump onto that. So that we just share screens, go onto the website. You jump in at the top of our website here. Here we go. And at the top of our site, come on. Here you go. So free strategy session in here. And on this strategy session, you'll see is this orange button here. And this orange button takes you to my Calendly, which I'm going to jump into the chat now. Hang on. Okay. Come on. Okay, into the chat now. And you'll see that there's just 2 more sessions left. And then in October, I'm out, basically. So we've got today and we got next week. And then October, I'm climbing up to Everest Base Camp and doing a climb Island Peak. So I am not in on October. So until we get to the end of it. So this is a good chance to be able to get a demo of that and to see exactly the type of process where we can help. So it's in the chat now. So do jump on there now and just book into one of those and secure those seats. Cool. All right, good stuff. Back into the room then, gang. Sort of thoughts or questions?
So the 13 weeks are principles taken from the model you're working with.
Yes, exactly right. So the whole point of it is when you say, so this one, obviously, the one. So let's take today as an example. I've gone through a system, a system, how you be able to scale. Those parts are part of how I help people to be able to do it within my accelerator. And so I kind of looked at the entire journey today. And then when I split out different things as I go, so I'll do a session on niching, I'll do a session on LinkedIn lead generation, Facebook lead generation, and I can only show a small slither, 15 minutes in those sessions. So I can say, look, guys, if you want to know more, then book a strategy session, because this is the sort of stuff that we do within our product. And if it is the thing that you feel, because I've shown you a way of doing something, if you feel it's right for you, then we can talk further. And then, of course, when you present that solution to them, they're already warmed up to the idea that you know what you're talking about, and what you've said kind of works for their business. And so that makes the sales process easier, right? Because you're just getting the right people talking about the right stuff, because you're offering something that can help them and solve their pain. And that's the most important thing. Don't try and create something or try and bring people into a call where you're not actually able to solve their pain. Do it quickly and do it in a way that, you know, is going to get them success. That's the whole crux of this thing. You're going to know what that result is that you get for clients, and then you present that journey to them and help them on the way. Makes sense? Oh, let me just quickly get my battery. Oh, that was lucky. That was like that close to dying. Janice laughing. She's seen me do that too many times, haven't you? Whew. Okay, that was lucky. Ivana, good to see you. I've got the camera off. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. Long time.
Is
this going well?
I'm meaning to jump in and say hi to you at some point, but yeah, it's that 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. I can't always make it, but yeah, things are going really well. I've got my amicable divorce program still running.
Fantastic.
And I have a program for people that actually aren't amicable but need to go through the process.
Okay.
That happens. And I set up a second business as well, as you do.
Okay, all right. What's the second business?
It's in property. So at the moment, I'm developing HMOs and now working on property with a social impact.
Nice.
Which
really cool.
Really fits within who I am. So offering places to stay for women going through domestic violence and children in care.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so good. Oh, I'm so pleased. Thank
you so much. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It really fits in with who I am as well. So that really, it brings together both of my passions. So that's, it's working really well. But it's so good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Welcome along. Good stuff. Well, look, guys, so normally we finish at 9:45, but I'm sticking around for 5-10 minutes to answer any further questions. So feel free to answer those. But if any of you are shooting off, just remember in the chat, I'll just stick it in there again, is the strategy session link. So thank you for the guys that have booked on already. So looking forward to seeing you guys either 12:30 today or next Wednesday. And we can look at the $1 Million Sprint and also look at your business, look at where you are now and where do you want to be in the future. Cool. Okay, back into the room then. Happy to take some further questions or help in any way.
I have a question, Richard. So one of the things that I come across a lot in my business is, and maybe it's different for a lot of people, is the number of leads I get in. It's really hard for me to manage the number of people. Currently, I'm booking calls. I do one-to-one calls, and I can easily book up my diary till October, and I can have 3-4 calls a day, which I'm finding is eating up so much of my time.
Yeah.
So I have set up these. I've set up a monthly, weekly moment, as it were. And I do face-to-face events as well, where people can come and hear about a subject, but also get to know me a bit better and connect with each other. But I'm still finding that people are booking a lot of calls.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work out a way to alleviate that time for me. But I'm finding it quite hard because people still want to talk to you.
Yeah, I think you need a prospector. You need someone to do what we call a triage call. And so everybody gets to book in with you. But actually what they're booking into is the 10-minute pre-assessment call. So if I'm going to go see, if I go to A&E, you get triage before you go see a doctor, right? It's got to be that exact same scenario. So yes, they are booking the call with you, but it's a 2-part call. Part 1 is like a 10-minute fact find, and that's done by phone. It's done by someone that's not you, and they just phone in that person and they will ask a number of questions. And then from there, they're trained to be able to say, hey, looks like it's not something that we would be able to help with because of this, and this. Can I point you in the direction of this type of specialist or that type of person? And they just move them out. So they qualify. And then when they do come into a call with you, then you know the ones that have been triaged are going to be high quality leads. And also there's a two-step process. So they feel like they've had enough touch points as well. So they're probably better suited to actually convert in that call as well, because people like to have they want to feel safe and warm by seeing a few different kind of things. So the weekly moment, if you did make it weekly, where you're saying that I'm doing in-person events and the rest of it, I would personally optimize your time. And I say, right, once a week, I'm going to do a 45-minute call. And that's where lots of people can come and get thought leadership from me. So all of these people that are buzzing around doing appointments can see a bit of you and feel a bit of you and talk to you. I'll have a Q&A section to answer questions. So you're doing it en masse. And then you triage them by someone that's not you before they get to the one-to-one with you. And then that then gives you a really high quality funnel where you are serving as many people as you can in the masses, but then only using those one-to-ones for people that are right, that are proper, you know. And because you're subject, so I do groups. So I do my group demos. So my 12:30 appointments once a week is just one group session. That's what I do. So that means that I don't need to triage because we qualify on the application for that. And because it's group, it's not like it's taking any more of my time depending on the size of the group, right? But we do qualify people out of that call. Whereas if you're doing it one-to-one, then, you know, you still do need, you need some way of being able to hold the floodgates.
Because, yeah, there's a lot of people coming in that I can't help or aren't my ideal client, because I do a lot of group now as well. I have a monthly membership. I have a program which I sell live, but actually it can be purchased, recorded, and then I have my couples as well. So lots of things that are really different, and it doesn't suit everybody, but I'm just on calls trying to work out if I'm right for them, they're right for me before we go anywhere. And then the conversion is lower than it should be, I think, because there isn't that application process, or as you say, triage process. What I was thinking of doing is adding a quiz funnel there. So actually I gather so much data about a person that I can instantly see, and I've written a book as well. So whether they should buy my book, whether that would be the perfect thing for them, whether they need this, whether they need that. So I was thinking of adding a quiz funnel rather than a person.
But potentially you could do that as well. What you're doing is someone wants to book an appointment. So I actually take the view, let them book the appointment because they've gone. So remember my stages. So awareness, consider, convert, right? So they're aware of you. They've looked at some of your stuff and they've considered you. So now they want to book the conversion call. But now you want to loop them back into consider through a scorecard, etc. And they're like, you know, there's easier ways to speak to someone, you know, and they'll flick off to some other company, right? So let them convert. So the way that I would solve that problem, so I've used this in all my different businesses and it's fantastic. I look to go and find the sort of 10 till 2 type employee, right? And I look to get someone for about £10 an hour, 3 hours a day, 4 days a week. And at that rate, you'll get change out of £500 a month, but you'll have someone Monday to Thursday, 3 hours, banging out calls for you and taking triage. So everybody can always book in around that lunchtime 10 till 2 bit, and they'll always have Calendly slots available for people to book into triage. And it's an incredibly, you know, cost-effective solution for you. And when they're not making those triage calls, what they're doing is they're going through your list of leads and they are actually doing outbound triage. So they're actually prospecting your leads that are coming in and saying, hey, I saw that you downloaded the book or come along to an event. How are you doing? You know, thought you might want to actually jump onto, you know, a call with Vana, but just thought I'd just, you know, see if that's right and ask you maybe a couple of questions. And now that's like a feedback call, then goes into a qualifying call that then qualifies them out or in.
Perfect. Sounds a good solution. And Richard, you always give me good solutions.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Oh, bless you. Good to see you. Well, look, I've got time for one more quick question. If someone's got one before I've got to close. Any questions? Cool. All right. I'm happy to close then for the day. Look, gang, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
joining today. And looking forward to seeing anybody next week on our last call before November, weekly moment call before November. And have a fantastic week if I don't see you then. So take care, gang.
Thank you, Richard.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.